Hey there, this is Andrew, and I'm bringing you a Keyforge deck opening review thingy. And today I'm going to bring you a look at Twin of G Gallery Tribune. So this happened because I opened a deck called G Gallery Tribune, and I went to scan it, and that failed because someone else had already scanned it. So what do? Uh, well, turns out Ghost Galaxy had a process. So I actually emailed, or I used their contact form on the keyforging.com website and said, hey, what's the right course of action here? And it resulted in me getting this, which is a twin of G Gallery Tribune. So it is actually it's the same list of cards, but it has a different unique ID, and it actually has the same picture on the back too. But it's officially a different deck, has a different ID, and I can scan it, and no problem. I can use it, and I had the option to to return this and to return the Archon card and get a fresh deck, but I just thought, hey, this is not something they're going to do. They're not going to have this printing error every time where they double things, so I might as well do this. So on DOK, the owner of the other instance of this is Snorbear, so nice to see a fellow bear getting a fun deck. And anyway, now I have a copy of it. So the twin. So this deck is Equidon, Brobnar, and Saurian. I have actually kind of looked at the list, but we'll still go through it. So we start with the Banner of Battle. That's kind of a fun card to have, actually. Gives, let me see here. Gives every friendly creature +1 power. There it is. We've got Feats of Strength, an action with an amber that says for the remainder of the turn, each time an enemy creature is destroyed in a fight, we make a token creature. Shattered Throne, after creature is used to fight, it captures 1. That's really fun with the Banner of Battle, actually. Oh, by the way, the token we got here is Diplomat. That's a little spoopy. But actually, it is interesting having a 2-power Diplomat. I'd be more interested in a 2-power Trader, though, probably. Then we have the Grand Gourd, 5-power giant that says at the start of your turn, if you control the most powerful creature, make a token creature. We've got Brick Nasty to make Brobnar creatures get an amber after they fight. Bumpsy, play your opponent loses 1. We've got Fresh Marks, get an amber, destroy a friendly creature. If you do, exalt 3 enemy creatures. Destroy a friendly creature to gain 4 is pretty good. Press Gang, make a token creature. If an enemy creature is destroyed this turn, archive Press Gang. Second Press Gang. We've got Rant and Rive, which is an action with an amber that says if your opponent has 8 or more amber, they lose half. Got 2 of those. That's interesting with the Diplomat. That might actually be less bad than one would think. Shockherder, 3-power goblin with deploy and play ready and fight with a neighboring creature. That's it for the Brobnar. Into Equidon, we have Tourist Trap, which is an artifact and location that says play, make a token creature, and action you can choose a friendly token creature and an enemy token creature, and if you do, you swap control. So with this, we're hoping for, number one, for our opponent to have cool effects on their creatures that we could take, but also maybe some ways to capture amber. We've got Exchange Program, which actually is really an action version of that. Get an amber, and then you choose a friendly flank creature and an enemy flank creature. If you do, swap control of them. That's pretty interesting. We've got Exoshell System, which is an artifact and item that gives our token creatures elusive. They already have it, but when you play it, you make a token creature. That's really all we get here. Scrap Scrounger, 4-power Gatruki Artisan. With After Reap, swap an artifact from your discard pile with a card in your hand. There are actually 5 artifacts total in this deck, so kind of interesting to get that. Auction Off is an action with an amber. This one got a draw on it, and it says play Persian artifact as controller gains 1. That's a nice card to have. Belligerent Guard is an 8-power giant that enters play ready, and when you play it, your opponent draws a card. Got 2 of those. And then a Closed Door Negotiation, which is an action with an amber. When you play it, your opponent draws a card, and then you steal 1 amber. And if you do steal an amber and your opponent still has more amber than you, you can repeat the effect. Recruiter is a 4-power Gatruki soldier. After it reaps, you make a token creature. And then we've got Generous Offer, which is an action that destroys a friendly creature, and if you do, you steal 2. We've got Ornate Talking Tray, an artifact and item with an amber. It has Omni, you destroy it and make a token creature. And then we've got Steward Su Uziane, 2-power human artisan that enhances with 2 ambers and a draw. So yeah, that's some interesting stuff. This actually is a 41 SAS Equidon pod, which I think is kind of interesting. I don't know that maybe it should be that with Diplomat. SAS really likes Tourist Trap. I think Tourist Trap is really good, and Exchange Program. So that's some interesting stuff. Unfortunately, the pips don't land in this pod, so if you use this for Alliance, you're not really getting the full benefit of the Steward. The Saurian, meanwhile, let's see what we have here. We've got Paraguardian with an amber, 6-power dinosaur soldier with 1 armor. After reaps, you may exalt it, and if you do, you ward each of its neighbors. We've got another unenhanced Paraguardian. Then Tribune Pompatus, who's a 4-power dinosaur politician with 2 armor that gives each friendly creature plus 2 power for each amber on it. Before it fights, you may exalt it. We have Beware the Ides, an action with an amber that deals 23 damage to a creature in the center of its controller's battle line. We have a second Beware the Ides, this one with an extra amber pip. Chancellor Dexterous is a 3-power dinosaur politician who, after reap, says you may exalt its right neighbor, and if you do, that creature belongs to Saurian for the remainder of the turn. We've got Crushing Charge, an action that destroys each creature with power 4 or lower and then gives you a chain. Legionary Trainer is a 2-power dinosaur soldier that says that each friendly token creature enters play ready. That's fun. When you play it, you make a token. We've got Longisaur Lector, 6-power dinosaur politician with play or after reap, you may exalt it, and if you do, make a token. Prefector Marius, or Praetor Marius rather, who's a 5-power dinosaur politician. After he reaps, for each exhausted creature to his left, he captures 1. And then we've got 2 copies of Recruit, which is an action that says make a token creature. If you exalted a friendly creature this turn, exalt Recruit. So interesting. We've got a bunch of token generation. Not the best token. Some good stuff. I think the Equidon is pretty solid, and I wonder, for Alliance, even without the pips from the Steward, it could be fine. There really is some good stuff here. I like the Auction Off. I like the Tourist Trap and the Exchange Program. You can auction off your own Exoshell and not feel bad. Although maybe you want Exoshell depending on what other token you use if you're doing this in Alliance. So yeah, actually seems pretty interesting. So that was the twin of G Gallery Tribune. Once again, this isn't likely to happen again, but if you do open a deck and go to scan it and it turns out someone else has already scanned it because that it really is because of a printing error where they double printed some decks, then you have the option to you should reach out to Ghost Galaxy and ask how they'd like to resolve that. And that's what I did, and here we are. So anyway, that's it. Thanks for watching. I hope you enjoyed it, and you'll get out there and forge some keys.